Welcome to the Beauty Inspires Beauty podcast, where I've made it my mission to help beauty professionals, creative, and independent entrepreneurs like you find the tools, inspiration, and motivation to unlock the abundant life you know you are meant to be living. Each week, you can expect epic guests and solo episodes sharing every tool, trick, and skill set I've learned on my own 20-year journey to grow and scale your life and business. I'm your host, Jessica Burgio, former salon owner turned beauty business mentor and crazy multi-passionate entrepreneur, here to share incredible stories and insight about how others got started and the unconventional path they took to get there. My goal is to inspire you to reach your business and life goals with confidence, to achieve your dream life through creating non-negotiables and boundaries without sacrificing your personal well-being and relationships. I know firsthand how real burnout can be, so if you're ready to stop the overwhelm and get clear and focused, you're in the right place, babe. Let's jump right in. Welcome back to the Beauty Inspires Beauty podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Burgio, and today I have a really rad guest. We met through an amazing business/sales coach that we know. Her name is Jillian Murphy. And Jillian is like a community builder. She's all about making sales not feel salesy, and it brings women like Jackie and I together. And we wanted to have a conversation today around health and fitness and how you can implement some of these easy tricks, tools, all the things into your busy life. Jackie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here and to get the opportunity to speak with your audience.
I know I always like to ask my guests, like, what do you want to talk about? What is like your main thing? Obviously I do my background work, but anyone who comes and shows up and is like, how can I add value to your community, to your people? And I'm like, listen, you are about to speak to a bunch of busy, creative beauty professionals who 99% of us do not put our health and fitness first. It is, let's get shit done. I'll work more than I need to or more than I have to. I don't take breaks. I don't even go to the bathroom when I'm supposed to. Some people aren't drinking water. So we're going to touch on ways that you can fit health into your everyday busy life, but then also break down just some basics to get you thinking about eating for your well-being at work. Jackie has been the leader in the fitness industry for over a decade. Her work within the industry alongside leading brands has taken her to New York, LA, Washington, DC, and Philly. She has been featured for her content creation in On Good Day, New York Magazine, Women's Health, Shape, and so much more. In 2020, she decided it was time to take things into her own hands and started her own online studio and health coaching business. Thank God for people like you. The Lab. Jackie is known for coaching women to build both mental and physical strengths through adapting sustainable and aligned habits. So sustainable and aligned habits. Yes, please talk to us more about that, Jackie.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that the term sustainable habits is thrown out there and people are like, what the heck are you actually talking about? So sustainable habits means eating 3 times a day, not skipping meals and then getting home and being starving and then feeling like crap, to be quite honest and blunt. It means working out, but not feeling like you have to hit the gas pedal to 100. Let's go 3 days a week. You don't have to jump in and do 6 or 7. You never have to do 6 or 7. Like, what do you actually have the capacity to do? And you have more capacity than you think. You're just not doing it because you're overwhelmed thinking that you have to do it like 100,000% when it's really not true. You can get results by taking the right small steps and the right small little actions every day.
Totally. And that's something that like I know in my industry, I know myself too. Like I am a huge like all or nothing. Like I'm like, okay, this week I'm not having any carbs and I'm not drinking. And then like one day I'll have some and I'm like, well, I've already slipped off the boat. We'll just keep this going. But when I got into, really paying attention to my health and fitness, when I started competing back in my late 20s, that's when I realized like there were certain ways you could eat to support whatever fitness journey you were on that made recovery better, made your body look better, made what workouts you were doing actually like show up in your body. Because if you're not eating properly, but you're overtraining, or if you're, and vice versa, you're not going to see the results from the work that you're putting in. So let's just break it down really simple for everybody. Maybe you've been involved in fitness for a while. Maybe you do know how to eat healthy, but I wanted Jackie to kind of like really break down the point of breaking up protein, carbs, and fats in those 3 meals that you talked about. Because you hit the nail on the head with this industry. A lot of people will have a giant coffee when they get to the salon, maybe a Diet Coke for lunch, and then they get off at 9 o'clock, have a glass of wine, and they eat at 11 o'clock before they go to bed. And I'm sure it's not the only industry that this happens to, but what are some good little meals that they can make, and you can break down why it is that they need the protein, carbs, and fats?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's keep it really simple. Let's say in the morning you don't have a ton of time. So you make 2 slices of Ezekiel bread, which is the brand that I always recommend, and you have some pre-made hard-boiled eggs, and you might have some avocado, and you just put together like avocado toast with 2 hard-boiled eggs. It took you 5 minutes and you're done. So let's just say 3 simple meals, and then we'll break down like protein, carb, and fat. For lunch, you're on the go, you're busy. I guarantee if you're working in a salon, there's some sort of place near you that will deliver to you, right? So it'll deliver to you, and takeout doesn't need to be bad. That's the thing, like takeout, eating out, it's just the automatic assumption is, oh, it's unhealthy. But there are so many places where you can get a salad and make it really well-rounded. So again, thinking, all right, I'm going to start with lettuce as my base. I'm going to add in some chicken. I'm going to add in like a scoop of sweet potatoes or a scoop of brown rice, a fat-based dressing. And I'm not going to, once I have the fat-based dressing, do I really need nuts and cheese and avocado? No, like maybe I'll pick one of those other things and throw in a bunch more veggies. So boom, easy, have it delivered to you, take like 10 minutes to yourself and eat it. And then when you get home for dinner, I'm really big into super, super quick, easy meals. Like I have an air fryer. I'll just get out some like thinly sliced chicken, throw it in the air fryer, season it up. I will put sliced broccoli in the microwave, put it on for 4 minutes. It comes out steamed. It's perfectly good. And there's so many other ways you can even like they make like pre-bagged brown rice that you can throw in the microwave, 4 minutes, done. So now you have chicken, broccoli, and rice literally in 15 minutes, and it's done. It's just, you don't have to make it over complicated. You don't have to Google a zillion recipes. Just keep it as simple as possible. And then you don't have the excuse of the time or being too busy or being too overwhelmed or not knowing what to cook. Just keep it simple. Think ahead a little bit and you're good to go.
Definitely.
So in terms of breaking down protein, carb, and fat, you want to have all 3 of these things present, as well as fruits and veggies in your daily, I don't want to say diet, just in your daily nutrition, in the way that you're fueling your body as a standard. A great breakdown to think about when building a plate is you're going to have about half of it be vegetables, and then 1/4 be protein, and then 1/4 be carb. So this is a really, really good standard breakdown. You want to eat carbs. Let me just start by saying that they're your number 1 source of energy, right? They get a bad reputation, but fruits are carbs. Some vegetables are carbs. Like carbs are basically everywhere except for fat and protein. And everything else is basically a carb. Let me just say that. You need them. They fuel your brain. They fuel your body. They give you energy. They help in keeping you feel sustained. Like they're really important. Carbs get a bad rap because of like donuts and things like that, I think, but you need them.
Totally.
Now, going into protein, this is going to be so essential for you continuing to build muscle in your body or to maintain your muscle in your body. It also keeps you really full. So if you're eating a meal that is just a bowl of pasta and there's no protein in it, you're going to be hungry almost right away.
Right.
Yeah. And then fat, same thing. It really helps to keep you full and sustained throughout the day. So having all 3 of these things present in each meal is really important. It's just, we have our portions sometimes are too big, and that's where they get the bad name. It's really just about knowing how much you need and figuring that out for yourself and building your meals around it.
I love that. And that was one of the things, like, I enjoy cooking, but I didn't want to have to follow crazy recipes in order to get the body that I wanted. And so for me, I have a background in personal training too. And I always would get resistance around, well, I don't want to eat the same thing every day. And when I heard you say like broccoli, chicken, and rice, I was like, oh, everyone's probably cringy. And like, I don't want to eat brown rice. I don't want to eat broccoli, and I don't want to eat chicken all the time. Well, if you break that down, lean proteins are what? Ground turkey, shrimp, white fish, like anything that's like, along those lines, they have fat content, and then you can get your fat elsewhere. So I've traded in salad dressing for avocado. I would prefer avocado and more of it on my salad than a salad dressing. So picking your fats, and not, because when you see something and you order, you can get a salad out that's 15 calories and way too many carbs and way too much fat. And it's like, if you just took one of the things off, I found out I can't eat dairy. So I'm like, every sandwich, everything, I've eliminated at least 100 to 200 calories by not having cheese on there. I don't even miss it. So there's like little swaps that you can make. And that's probably something that you teach and talk about in your programs. So talk to us a little bit about your journey as to how you became like an online fitness trainer. Because I love that 2020 has made so many people start their own business, pivot, go from in person to like online. Unfortunately for hairdressers, that was like the one, like we're like the one thing that couldn't go, or tattoo, and I guess probably can't go online either. But for you guys, you can, and I feel like so many people have embraced more so than going to the gym. They used to think they had to go to the gym or they had to get like a Peloton in order to like follow anything. But so many women like you have taken and created programs. So tell us a little bit about how you transformed into this online superstar.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was previously working for Flywheel Sports. I don't know if you heard of them, but they had over 40 locations all across the US. And then they had one location in Dubai. The pandemic hit, they shut down right away. And on the side, I was already building an in-person brand called Rhythm Lab. Now the name has changed since. It was just starting to take off. It was a total body strength and cardio workout, all set to the beat of the music because I'm a former dancer. So I married the two. It was really fun. It was such a good time. Like I did it in the studio. It was super dark under glowing pink lights, and we were just like building momentum. And then the pandemic happened, and it was like, okay, Flywheel's closed. My job is closed. Like I can't go to the studio anymore. It's no longer. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to do. So I took Rhythm Lab and I just put it online immediately, like the next day. And I was like, okay, this isn't enough. I can't just offer a beat-based workout online when people want so much more. So I quickly pivoted. I created the lab, and now I have 5 different class types a week that can be done live or on demand with me. So we cover strength training. We still have Rhythm Lab. I have a background in Pilates, and we do a HIIT workout, and then we do another like total body weightlifting workout. So 5 a week, like all encompassing program. And I put it together basically day 1 of the pandemic in 2020. And now it's just like snowballing into more and more. It's been super fun and exciting, and really a collection of my entire past work as a fitness professional.
That is so cool. I love that. And did you think prior to any of this happening that this was something you would eventually do?
A little bit. It's so funny. My husband was like, "You should go online. You should like." He's like, "There's more audience for you there," and he's like whispering this in my ear. I'm like, "No, I like in person. I like to be with people." And the universe just had a different plan. Give me a big old kick in the butt, and was like, "All right, go online." So it like a little bit. I thought eventually, but I don't know. I wouldn't be here right now. I don't think. I think I would have slowly like convinced myself to do it, but now I'm all in.
Those are the people that I see are having the most success in their business right now. People like Jilly and people like you, where it was like one door slammed shut, and there was no like, uh, can I go back, or when will we get to go back? And it was like sink or swim. The people that I see that still have like one foot in and aren't quite sure. I'm one of them. Don't want to walk away from something because in person, like hairdressing, again, can't do that. I love in person too. And I think when you're someone who feeds off of energy of in person, it's hard to go fully online. So what are some ways that you make it? I know you're live virtual classes though, but how has it been for you since not doing in person?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I've converted my studio in or my basement into a studio, and I have to just like drum up the energy from here. But we stay really connected behind the scenes in a Facebook group. So a lot of the community has been with me now for over a year, and they're getting to know each other. I shout out everyone's name every single class. So they hear the name and then they see them in the group and then they start talking to each other. I've done one in-person event since all of this. So they got to meet, one another. I'll continue to build on things like that. But it really is, we're showing up enough live, or they do every now and then live enough that they know they're not alone. There is a sense of community, and it's crazy because I am like you. I never thought it was possible. Like I always wanted just to have that in-person energy and interaction. And I don't think that it's something that's gone forever. I'll like bring an element of that back, but just from staying connected and messaging people, I've been able to keep that sort of excitement and energy and vibe. And just voice memoing is the best thing ever. I voice memo my members all the time. I'm like, "What's up? How are like either where are you or good job?" And we just keep it alive that way.
That is so awesome. I know I love voice messaging. Whenever I get one, I'm like, because sometimes you see people on social media or your clients, but like getting a special, like just 10-20 second voice message from somebody, it just means so much. It's so much more personal. So if you guys aren't voice messaging your clients, highly recommend, especially in the DMs or even through text, if you communicate like that with your clients, like be sure if you're thinking about them or if you haven't seen them in a while, in my industry, your industry, any industry, like take the initiative as the expert, as the leader, as the person, the service provider, or whatever you are, to reach out to your clients and say hello, or it was great seeing you, or I can't wait to see you again, or where have you been? I miss you. Like little things like that go so far in sustaining clientele and businesses that we both have, because they're so oversaturated that you have to give a little bit more than the next guy in order for people to feel connected. Because there's only one of us, right? But there's so many of them. And so if they feel like they're one, and you recognize that, then you'll have a client for life when you do business that way, don't you think?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's fun because it's like you said, you like connecting with people. It's just a different way of doing it. And it's way more fun to show up and teach a class online when I know what someone's goals are, when I know why they're there, when I know how dedicated they are. And then when they're voice memoing me back, guess what? Somebody, so and so told me my arms look freaking awesome. Like, thank you for making me lift heavier weights. And then we're just like celebrating together.
So you mentioned earlier that you used to be a dancer. Tell me about that. Did you start as a kid dancing, or where does that background come from?
Yeah, I started as a kid dancing and I was 5. I did it my entire childhood. I did it in competition. I went to college for it. I moved to New York City at 18, right out of school, and started auditioning. I did some like smaller, like low key work there. And the audition circuit kind of burnt me out, to be honest. And I was sitting in a Pilates class one day and I had this moment where I was like, I'm going to do this instead. And then I like signed up for my Pilates certification the next day. And then boom, that was like 2008. And now here I am.
Wow. So did you stay in New York, or did you move back home, or what was your journey between 18 when you moved to New York and now?
Yeah. So I stayed in New York until 4 years ago. I was there for over a decade. I was there for quite a while and I built my fitness career there. So I started at a studio called Flex. It was in Union Square and then it was downtown in Soho. And I helped build it from the ground up. I created their programming, hired their instructors, did a lot of their instructor training. And then from there, I started with Flywheel in New York, and then I moved back to Philadelphia. So it was like a whirlwind. It was just like, you can always connect the dots when you're looking backwards, but you can't connect them when you're looking forwards. Is a quote a coach, Jess Glazer, I don't know if you've heard of her, of mine, said before. And I'm like, this is so true. It's like funny how one thing always leads to the next. You just don't know what next is.
Totally. And sometimes you just have faith to just keep taking those steps until that little path opens up, and then it's a decision like you made. Do I go all in on online, or like what's next? Do I wait this out and see if I can get back in the game?
Mhm.
People like you that are taking the initiative to invest in coaches like Jess and Jillian that are seeing the growth in their business. And I'm a huge proponent. I coach for the mastermind, the Fast Foundations, that we are all kind of connected through in the back end. And I joined that with an idea of doing something different. And it's like when you put yourselves in rooms with people who have already taken the steps and are doing and building businesses that you one day think you want to, like, that's when the magic can happen, because then it opens up the possibility of what you can create.
Yeah.
If you can't see what's possible, then you don't even think the thought. It's like we don't know what we don't know. So if you stay around people that are always growing and investing in themselves, like I talk about that shit all the time, because I didn't realize that was like the key to growing professionally. Because I was an independent, I always kind of was like, well, this is the ceiling. I work in a salon. If I want different, I have to open my own space. And
Mm.
I didn't realize there could be other avenues in the business. And now becoming a coach in this industry, and then also in just the entrepreneurial space, I was like, wow, like you said, I can look back over the last 20 years of my career, connect the dots that way to see what I could possibly do in the future. Because I feel like a lot of people get stuck in the everyday of like what they do. Obviously, we can go back all the way into how they're eating and how they're working out. Like that's just not who I am. So we could talk business all day, I'm sure you and I, but
Yeah.
break down for everybody. Share with us, like, what are your daily rituals and habits? Like, what does it look like for you? You're busy, you're managing a business, you've got different classes going on. Like, how do you fit your stuff in? What does a day for you look like?
hmm So I wake up and the first thing that I do every day is meditate, like no matter what. And sometimes I'll do 40 minutes, sometimes I'll do 10. And it's just been a really good way for me to ground myself through this journey of entrepreneurship and the journey of serving others. It allows me to kind of connect with who I am, who I want to be for the day, how I want to show up, and also the energy that like I want to live in for myself. So I do that every single day. And from there, I'll usually make myself breakfast, get ready. So my mornings look different. Sometimes I teach first thing, or sometimes I'm able to work out before. But every day, like non-negotiables, however they fit into my day, are to eat a lot of vegetables, sleep 8 hours, meditate, move my body, and then just like make sure that I'm showing up in a way that brings service to my community, to the people that have been around me and trusting me, for a year plus, or even just like the new, like serving, like giving to people what I really think that I'm here to do, which is to help them live like a happier, healthier life through fitness and wellness.
I love that. Okay. So as far as, fun, where do you like squeeze your me time in there? So that's your day to day. That's what gets you through. The meditation supports like how you show up every day. The movement supports obviously what you believe in and obviously making you feel better. Sleep. I mean, does anybody hear that? Who else is getting 8 hours of sleep? I try my hardest. I'm a baby grandma. I try to go to bed by like 9:30 at the latest. I'm up at 4 or 5. That's how I roll. That wasn't always the way. It was like pre-kid. I went to bed at 11 or 12, maybe slept till 7. But where do you like squeeze pockets of time for like you and like self-care? Because that's a huge thing that in my industry, people will work until they're burnt out. They will do the most and not take time for their own personal well-being. I think that this past pause with the pandemic has made a lot of people start to do more of that. But like, how does that look for you? Like, what do you do for yourself to support all that you're doing?
Yeah, when I work in the morning, starting at 7 a.m., I am like non-negotiable done by 5, which is still a long day. But then I'll like go on a walk either by myself or with my husband. I'll cook dinner. I'll sit down. I'll watch a show that I like. Maybe I'll read a book. Like non-negotiable. That's at least three days a week. So I only work in the morning a couple. Yeah. So it's just like cutting it off. And also just like the realization that a lot of the I have to do it now was really rooted in scarcity for me. Like there was not going to be any other time. If I don't eat, like early bird gets the worm. I don't get up and get it now. There's not going to be any more. And I just realized that like, if I have a clear vision and plan of what I want to do each day, and it's taking a step forward, then that is enough. And my health also matters.
That's huge. Yes. And that's definitely because I see so many hairdressers that they're in physical pain. There's things going on that they think are wrong with them. I've heard, I wouldn't say autoimmune aren't real, but so many autoimmune issues can be done from improper nutrition. And when I've seen people change what they're eating, those symptoms go away. Working out, those symptoms go away. Movement, the pain that you're feeling at work because you're not standing right, like that goes away. I mean, I've been in this industry for 20 years and I have no ailments. Like I have nothing, thank God. Like I can stand all day still for 10, 11 hours after waking up at 4 and going to the gym for an hour. Like, and I credit me being able to sleep well because I work out. Like yesterday, I didn't sleep well, and I was like, "What did I do different?" I was like, "I took the day off."
Yeah,
Because I couldn't move. We went wake surfing, and I woke up and I was like,
yeah, you're so sore. You couldn't do anything anyway. Like
yeah. So it's funny because I tried my hardest when I'm, in the space around other stylists to just like share that information. But so many people are like, I'm just too busy. So if they're too busy to get to the gym, how can they work with you? I know you have a special offer for our listeners today. Can you share that with us with what you got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're too busy to get to the gym, you can absolutely work out at home. And so I feel like people are like, I don't want to work at home. But listen to me, like, you absolutely can get it done, especially when you join a community like mine, because there's support not just from me every single day, but also from the people around you. So I'm offering all of you your first month for $59.99, which is over 50% off. And I just really want to get you in the door. I want you to know that it's possible. Like even if you're doing 3 of these workouts a week, they're 40 minutes or less. You have access to my entire on-demand library, which also has like 10, 15, 20-minute workouts added in there. And you can do it. It's just this commitment to yourself that you want to feel your best, that you want to go into your future knowing that you're setting yourself up for success. Because it's like you said, getting stuck in the day-to-day, great. What about 10 or 15 years from now if you don't start taking care of yourself now? Like think about it like that. So show up 3 days a week 40 minutes or less, like you can absolutely find time to do that. If you're on Instagram every day and like scrolling, you can find time to work out for 40 minutes.
That's my commitment to myself. Like I get up in the morning and I do like to scroll, but I won't let myself look. I say, have your coffee, I journal, I get to the gym. And then if I really want to be on my phone or if there's something on my mind that I want to create a post, like I get on the treadmill, I can text and I can scroll if I'm walking up a hill on the treadmill. Like I just make that happen. But there's some days like I just want to throw on some shorts and a sports bra and work out from home and not like, I don't really get ready for the gym, but we always can get a little ready.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest. So I love that you've created this and that there's variation in what you're teaching, because some online programs, it's all like the same thing, but it sounds like your background is all over with dance and Pilates. And like, I love sometimes just like a 10-minute workout that like makes me feel good. I earn my shower and I'm like ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a variety. And that's what makes it fun and engaging. And you're never bored. And I create a different workout. I've never repeated one ever once. Like this is my zone of genius, is creating like kick-ass workouts for women. And most of my clients are like, the youngest is probably 27, but I have a lot of women in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s that are working out with me on a regular basis, like kicking butt, like kicking ass. They're awesome.
That inspires me so much. I mean, I just turned 40 in February. So I'm like, I look around at the gym and I'm like, oh, she's probably like 25. And then I'm checking. I'm like, it keeps me want to push myself, because I'm like, I don't ever want to feel my age, whatever that means. I just put a quote.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, I'm putting the air quotes. Age is just a number, whatever makes you feel good. And definitely taking care of your body is going to make you feel a hell of a lot better. I want to leave everybody with a quote that you had on your page. I don't know if you wrote it or if this was something else, but it says, want to know where you will be in 5 to 10 years? Look at your daily habits. What you do today is creating your tomorrow. And that is so true, because we're always like, well, I'll start Monday, or I'll eat better next week, or when I'm not as busy. It's like that saying, like, when I'm confident, then I'll take the action. It's like, no, take the action and then you will feel confident. And so if you've been waiting to start a program, if you've been waiting or you feel like it's too late, summer's already here, no, you could get your hot girl summer body ready in the comfort of your own home with Jackie kicking your ass with no one looking. So again, you guys can get her first month for more than half off. Where can they find that? Can you give them a number to text you, or how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can text me. It is 610-486-3177. Just text me the word fitness and I will text you right back the link to get started and signed up. Or if you have questions, you can also text me the word fitness and then follow up with your question. And I'm more than happy to answer any, even if you're not ready to join a program just yet. If you're just dipping your toes in the water and you're not sure what to start with, or you feel like confused about what kind of workout is best for you, please feel free to text me at that number and ask me any questions, because I love to just show up and help women. I really, really do. I believe everyone should be moving, and I want to invite you in the most like welcoming way possible, and then just like help you get started with that.
Totally. I love that. And you know what's cool about you and your energy right now? It's like, you have to be motivated, I feel like, some people to work out. You have to want to, like, that person's energy. Like we all will sign up for, a studio class or something, right? But you have your favorite instructor and you like want to get in there. Same with the Peloton. I have like 1 or 2 instructors that I love that get me in the mood. And like, I can't wait to see what your classes are like, because I feel like if you have this much energy just through Zoom, I'm like, God, her class is probably so kick ass. So if you've been needing that, you guys get a hold of Jackie, send her questions, send her a message. If this podcast episode resonated with you, please drop us a little comment and share it on Instagram. Leave us a review. That would mean so much to us at the Beauty Inspires Beauty podcast. Jackie, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me today. And thank you to your audience for listening and having me on as well. And yeah, I can't wait to connect further with all of you.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys on the next one.
I'm going